Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here.
Did you hear what Trump said on January 6, 2025? When he instructed the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, the Ku Klux Klans, the 3%ers, the Patriot Front. That's what your president said on January 6, 2021. They had AR-15s outside of the White House at the Ellipse. They had Proud Boys and Oath Keeper in trees with AR-15s and AK-47s. They had baseball bats. They had bats. They had flagpoles. And they just beat the Capitol Police. Caught one Capitol Police head in the big door. You done seen over the years all the screaming, and one officer went home and died, and 3 other officers committed suicide because they couldn't believe that the American people and the Constitution that they was trying to protect, that they was treated just like animals. That was on January 6, 2021. Now you got from January 6, 2021 up until November 5th, 2024. And all this stuff that they did on January 6th, we had hearings by the House of Representatives. And all the proof that was given to the American people from January 6th all the way up to November 5th, 2024. And 77 million so-called American citizens got up on November 5th, 2024, and went and voted for the man that directed a mob to the Capitol and told them that we, not y'all, we are going to march down to the Capitol. And what we going to do? We're going to cheer on our senators that they counsel the count. And we might be nice. We might be nice to some of them. But some of them, we're not gonna be so nice. And that's what they did. You got to march down there and you got to take back your country.
Confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. Because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong.
Can you believe somebody that pledged their allegiance to the flag, to the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, right, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you imagine the leader of that government that was voted in by the people, that's getting paid by the people, that's getting protected by the people, that he taking his money from in that position, gonna get up in front of the White House and tell the American people, down with the Constitution, let's march down to the Capitol and cheer on our Republican friend America to make sure that they overthrow the government. And there was some people in the House of Representatives that wanted to overthrow the government. Some of the representatives in the House, like Jim Jordan, Comer, there's a whole bunch of people. The majority that's in the House and the Senate right now, they went along with Donald Trump overthrowing the government. The Supreme Court went along. They told Donald Trump if he get back into office, that he'll have total immunity as long as he is in the White House, and he can send SEAL Team 6 to assassinate his opponent. The highest court in the land told a no good criminal that just tried to overthrow the government, if you can just get back into office, I'll give you total immunity against the Constitution, and you can assassinate your opponent. You know there ain't no clause in the Constitution that says that when you run for president that you are allowed to assassinate your opponent. Just imagine the highest court in the land, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, told a man that just tried to overthrow the Constitution, if you can just get back into office, you can send SEAL Team 6 to assassinate your opponent. And you gonna tell me, the 77 million Americans, you with God? You gonna tell me that you believe in the Constitution? When you are leading the Constitution, at the same time, you're going to take a republic from a republic to a dictatorship or to a kingdom? Don't you let nobody that voted for Donald Trump didn't know who Donald Trump was. Donald Trump has been on the scene since 2015. It's 2026 now. Don't you let nobody that you know how to read and write and went to college, that they didn't know who Donald Trump is. Everybody know that. You know why? Because God told us in Hebrew that he ain't gonna write his laws on stone no more. He said that he gonna write his laws in your heart and in your mind and in your soul. That nobody is gonna have to tell you about God. Because God, instead of writing his laws on stone tablets, he wrote them in your heart and in your mind and in your soul. That means that he gave you a conscience. He gave you a conscience. When you see a woman that's married and she got a ring on her finger, you know that's somebody's wife. If you came by the road and you walked by a car and the car was running and the door was open and you get in that car and take off, if you a godly person, you ain't gonna do nothing but just keep on going, because you know somebody just started that car up and somebody just left that door open, and you know that that's not your car. You know that. If you got a conscience, got God rules in your heart and your mind and your soul, if you walking down the street and you see somebody drop their wallet, you're gonna say, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, ma'am. You dropped your wallet." That's what godly people do. That's what people do that got a conscience. You just got out of office for 4 years. And you didn't do nothing basically but gave a tax cut to the rich and to the powerful. And got rid of regulation so rich and powerful corporations could just dump chemicals in our water. Make fake meat and fake milk. Killing stuff that won't even biodegrade. You can keep a loaf of bread for a year and it won't even mold. They killing our own government. And then you put in Robert Kennedy Jr., you put in the Kennedy that's not even a doctor. You put him at the head of our health. He came in the first time, COVID. Now he giving rid of the vaccine. Now measles is running wild, killing kids. Think how evil that 77 million people is. Just think that the president, that you supposed to be obeying the Constitution and follow the Constitution. Just think that the president that's supposed to be protecting the Constitution, because he lost an election in November, he gonna put out a call to meet him in the front of the White House, to march down to the Capitol and kill some people. And take our country back. You know our country on January 6th was not invaded, right? You know that there were no Mexicans on January 6th trying to overthrow the Constitution, right? You know that there wasn't no Chinese trying to overthrow the government on January 6th. No Arab, no Native American, no blacks, no Jew was trying to overthrow the Constitution, right? See, President Trump was trying to tell the crowd, some in the crowd, and paid for a lot of it, to come and protect me. I've been robbed. He just went to Georgia yesterday and invaded with the FBI the voting headquarters down there. It's just 2025, and he's still trying to get the FBI. You know, all the investigations, all that money he paying those lawyers, every time he go into court, Donald Trump ain't paying for that. The American people, he's burning up billions and billions of our taxpayer dollars just for him going to court. Every time he goes to the Supreme Court, look at all the money he got to spend, all the lawyers, all the research and everything. And he's supposed to be looking out for the Constitution. And the only thing that Donald Trump is doing is looking out for himself. A lot of churches ain't no better. A lot of preachers ain't no better. A lot of deacons ain't no better. A lot of women, especially white women, ain't no better. This man appointed judges that was appointed because of the fact that they was going to vote against women's rights. They was going to vote against women's right to choose. And some of these prejudiced white women, they care more about President Trump than they cared about their own daughters. Or they cared about their granddaughters. Or their great-granddaughters. Or their freedom to speak, the press, religion, to assemble, petition your government. The prejudiced white women, knowing that Donald Trump just put 3 justices on the court that swore that they was going to overturn Roe v. Wade. And 60% of white women went and voted for the very man that stripped rights away from them. Their daughter is not going to have a right that they had. Their granddaughter and great-granddaughter is not going to have the same rights they had. These prejudiced white women were so serious, they was willing to deny their own daughter and granddaughter a right that they enjoyed. Just think about this. Your own grandmama, a grandmama, a great-grandmama that loved this evil, prejudiced man, Donald Trump, so much. They loved the president so much that they voted against their own kids and grandkids and great-granddaughters' right. How evil can you be? How terrible can you be that you would vote against your own family rights because of your hate? Just imagine how low down you are. Just imagine how against God you are. Just imagine how against freedom you are. You against everybody that's not white. Oh my God. Just imagine how evil. Just imagine what this kind of person would do to somebody that's black and brown. Just think about what a person would do that was willing to throw their daughters and granddaughters and great-granddaughters under the bus for evil. Just imagine living in a world where you will do anything to protect your whiteness. You will do anything to cover up your weakness. That's why so many young white kids use fentanyl. Because they finally see how evil they great-grandparent, they great-great-grandparent, and their grandfather and they daddies. They see how evil. They cannot believe that a human being would treat another human being like an animal and then claim that they love Jesus. Just imagine how evil that is. Knowing that God said that God is love, that God is peace, that God is joy, and that God is long-suffering. Love your neighbor as yourself. Jesus came and died on Calvary while we were yet in our sin. Jesus took the sin of the world upon himself. Jesus went to hell. Not because we were so righteous, not because we were so good. It's because he had mercy upon us. He came into the world to go through all that suffering while we were yet in our sin. And we are taking away rights from our daughter or your granddaughter or your great-granddaughter because you're in love with a white supremacist. You have declared the white supremacist your God. And you would throw everybody the Constitution, the number one economy in the world, the longest running republic democracy in the world. You is going to throw all that away for a man that committed sexual assault, that went into a dressing room at a department store and broke up in the dressing room while the woman was changing her clothes and pressed her against the wall and inserted his finger inside of her. That's what you chose over your daughter, or your granddaughter, or your great-granddaughter. You chose your grandchildren and children and great-grandchildren over a man that was once president that got impeached 2 times. You throw your family members under the bus for a man that been convicted of 34 felonies, a man that drove 6 companies into bankruptcy. A man, companies that been convicted of fraud. You chose someone that took away your right to choose. You took all that away. Look how long it took for you to get the right to vote. Look how long it took you to get the right to be able to open your own bank account. Look how long it took you to get the rights to own property. And you chose over your kids, your grandkids, your granddaughter, and your great-grandchildren. You chose a man that swore he was going to take those rights away. Just think about how evil that is. Just think for a second. Grandmama, why did you take away from, why did you vote for this evil man to take away a right that you enjoyed? You hated us that bad? Mama, why did you vote against my right to have autonomy over my own body and gave it to a prejudiced white man that wouldn't even let you smoke, that wouldn't even let you buy no property, wouldn't even let you open a bank account? Why would you vote and choose that over me? See, I'm just trying to show you what evil, I'm just trying to show you what evil is. When you have some people that don't have no soul, that don't have no conscience, that don't care nothing about you, no matter who you are. And just think about what you up against. They got tanks. They got planes. They got bombs. They got the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine, the Coast Guard, the National Guard. Do you see what you did to your own loved one? Do you see what you did to your own daughter? Do you see what you did to freedom? And you did it not because somebody attacked you. Not because somebody is doing the Constitution wrong. You doing it because you hate black and brown people. And you're not going to let them rule over you. Just imagine that evil. Just imagine the kind of danger we in. Just think about this man don't care nothing about no God and no God's rules. This man don't care nothing about no Constitution and the Constitution rule. This man don't care nothing about no women and the Constitution and their freedom. And you see all of that and you still vote for it? Wow. That's it. Ain't no prayer, ain't nothing like that. Because I'm not feeling it. In my whole 68 years, I never seen a act so heinous that people have spent over 500 years to build. And they gonna tear it down for an evil man that don't got no conscience. They gonna give up their freedom. They gonna give up opportunity they have, and they're not gonna have no more under this man. It's just shocking. Church on every corner. And evil is just running wild. They lit their candle, but they put it under a basket just for them and the few around them. They didn't light the candle and put it on a candlestick. They didn't go up on the rooftop and yell it to everyone that would hear it. This is a sad time in America. Because when you turn on freedom for all people, you turn on Christ. And the Bible said, when you turn on Christ, it said, you are enemy of Christ. The Bible tells me in 1 John, anybody, I do mean anybody from the president down. Anybody that says they love God, but they keep not God's commandment. The Bible says that those people is a liar. If the Bible say that those people is a liar, and God let John wrote it in 1 John. I'm with John. I'm with Christ. And I'm with God. Anybody, I do mean anybody, that say that they know God, but they keep not God's commandments, those people are liars in my eyes. And I'm going to do everything I can to defeat them. We are called by God to resist evil. The Bible said that evil must be resisted at all costs, even unto your death. That's what the Bible said. Even unto death. Jesus says in Matthew 5, starting around about the 17th verse, think not that I have come to destroy the law or destroy the prophets. I didn't come to destroy the law or the prophets. I came to make them come true. That's what fulfill means, to make them come true. So anybody that tell you that God destroyed the law, you need to run. Jesus' very word, Matthew 5, starting around the 17th verse, think not that I come to send peace. That means that if Jesus had this conversation, somebody was asking him about it. And this was his answer. Think not I have come to destroy the law or to destroy the prophet. I come not to destroy, but to fulfill, which means to make them come true. Until heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. The crossing of a T or the dotting of an I. Until heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, until all have been fulfilled. My sisters and brothers, don't nothing pass from the law. Don't nothing pass that the prophets prophesied. When is it going to pass? Until heaven and earth pass. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. Can't nothing pass from the law. Not even the crossing of a T or a dotting of an I. Don't you listen to no liar that tells you otherwise. Put your trust in Jesus. Let Jesus lead you and guide you in the way that he would have you to go. Make no allegiance to no man. Because a man or a woman is no more than you. They don't know no more about God than you. God has wrote his laws in your heart and in your mind, in your soul. That there is no need for nobody to tell you to know the Lord. All shall know me. From the least until the greatest. Even though I have to preach the truth, I preach it to you from love, not from malice. I preach it to build you up, not to try to tear you down. I have to tell you the truth. If I don't tell you the truth, I am no better than you. The Bible tell me, just like he told Ezekiel. He said, I want you to go to the Hebrews. And I want you to put your forehead against their forehead. And I want you to tell them what thus said the Lord God. Whether they'll hear or whether they will forbear, all you got to do is tell them the truth. He told Jeremiah to go down to the potter's house. And I don't want you to say nothing. I just want you to go there and I want you to observe the potter. How the potter spin his wheel. And then he started molding a pot. And the pot just wasn't what he wanted. And they said he just took the lump of clay and just balled it back up into a ball and he started all over again. He told Jonah to go to Nineveh and tell the Hebrews, amend your ways Turn from your wickedness. If you turn and return unto me, I will forgive you for all your sin. But Jonah didn't want Nineveh to be saved. Jonah wanted them destroyed. So he went on and got on a boat and headed to Tarshish. But God brought a great storm. And they found out that Jonah was the one that was making God mad. And Jonah said, yeah, I'm the man that caused all the problem. And they want to know what the solution. Jonah told them, throw me overboard. So they threw him overboard. But God had prepared a great fish that swallowed up Jonah. And took him and spit him out on the shore. And he went to Nineveh and he preached the gospel. And he said, all the kings and everything, they are many their ways. And they turned back to the Lord. And they started letting God lead and guide them again. How did we get here? This is as far as number of people, because it wasn't as many people as it is now. Just in America, there's over 340 million people. God talking to us. God telling us we got to turn away from this evil before it's too late. You got to amend your ways and change your ways before it's too late. I'm not saying this because it's going to make me feel good or some great benefit is going to come to me. I'm doing this just because I care about my sister and brother in Christ. My desire is that no one should be lost. That's why I always tell you, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat or Independent or Green Party, whoever you are, whatever your religion or who you love. My job is to preach the gospel. My job is not to judge you. My job is to let the people know that in light there is no darkness. If you follow Christ, you can't condone evil. You're supposed to resist it and get away from it. Not become part of it. Like I said, I ain't up to that praying stuff today because I'm trying to make a point. There's going to come a time in your faith walking that you're going to have to walk away from some family members. There is going to be some time that's going to come in your faith that you're going to have to walk away from some church members. And you're going to have to walk away from some churches. Christ is the church. When Bible tell you don't fail to assemble, we're talking about Christ. Every time there's 2 or 3 people gathered that believe in Jesus, the Bible said Jesus is right there in the midst. Your building don't have to be fancy. That building is just to keep you warm and keep you away from the cold or keep you cool when you're hot. That's what that building is for. That building don't have nothing to do with the church. The church is in your heart and in your mind and in your soul. Everything that you need to know about God is written right there on your heart and in your mind and in your soul. There is no need for anybody to teach you and tell you to know God. Because all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. I thank you for listening to me this morning. I know I had to do it. I tried to not to do it, And God just kept bringing it back around again. Bringing it back around again. So I finally got up and said, okay, I'm going to tell the people on Facebook and on YouTube and Instagram, anybody, any other social media that listen to me. I'm going to tell you what the Lord put up on my heart and my soul and my mind this morning. I'm trying not to lean to my own understanding. I'm trying to just draw nigh to God. And I know if I draw nigh to God, that God is going to draw nigh to me. Thank you.